Alright, this is going to be a little bit more of a long-winded video because we got a whole, let me pull my trusty dusty list here. We got 7 pairs to go through. This is for the Fair Select ticket, which you can get a Pokefair of your choice for free amongst 7 options. We have Lance, both Cynthia's, actually I should specify which Lance. We have Dragonite, Garchomp, Como, we have Metagross, Zacian, Zekrom, and Volcarona. We got a lot of stuff to go through, so this is really going to be a who should you pick, and who you should put dupes into if you already have everyone. But I will say this right now, bottom line, if you have a favorite, pick them. If they're 3 out of 5, don't pick them. If you have everyone 3 out of 5, that's a different conversation. So really, just I'm going to give a little highlight of every pair, their strong points, their weak points, if you need dupes to get what they want. I'm going to try and fire through these, right? So, Lance and Dragonite was the first Pokefair that came out just before New Year's, like around Christmas time and whatnot. They were the first pair to have Hyper Beam, which was a 4-bar move. Dragon Shift, normal types become Dragon moves, so you can hit super effectively. Lift cannot be paralyzed, and cannot flinch. So Hyper Beam has the highest base power in the game, minus sync moves, max moves, and all that. Hyper Beam is very, very strong. Like, even if the pair isn't, even if the rest of their kit isn't that good, Hyper Beam is always good. Dragonite was also the first strike pair to come out with Potion. So this isn't a new thing that, like, Absol has, Lunella has. This has been a thing with Dragonite. This is not as common. So, what Dragonite struggles with is crit rate and special attack, because all he does is fully charges the move gauge, and you cut your own HP. So, that's why I consider Dragonite just not good, and also his sync is physical, so you need to buff your special attack and physical attack if you want to use him as an EX. Granted, yeah, he has no sync modifier, but it's an option. So Dragonite can guarantee crits with Burst In and Build Up, but that's if you want to do Sync. Special Reserves, when your HP drops low enough, which you can get with Now or Never, you increase your special attack by 3, but for these you need 3 out of 5 for. 1 out of 5, I would purely use him as a Hyper Beam battery. But that's if you have someone who can get a special attack up to 6 and crit up to 3. The pair that could do that comes to mind is what's her face? Sabrina, but you're sacrificing heals for that. So you could literally do Now or Never, heal, raise special attack, Now or Never, heal, raise special attack again. Or you can only do it once, have special reserves take care of the rest. That's an option. You can also get First Aid, I think. No, never mind. Healthy healing. You have potion NPRs. You have Hyper Beam. Actually, Hyper Beam doesn't get any modifiers because its base power is so high. This will go very well with Dialga for Dragon Zone and all that. So Dragonite overall, would I go for dupes for him? No, I don't think it's worth it. I would only pick Dragonite if he's your favorite. That's the only reason why I would do it. Next pair we have here is Como. Another pair that struggles a little bit in my opinion. So High Five raises stats by 1 after your sync move. So you already want to focus on syncs. Head Start, same principle. You're getting closer to that sync. Standard Reserves charges the move gauge by 6 first time you hit the red. So this is almost a Power Reserves type of unit. Because also it's team Eyes on the Prize. Smaller the user's percentage of health remaining, the more it reduces the sync countdown up to 3. Smaller HP, the more you raise your crit rate up to 3. So you can max out your own crit rate, but you need to be in that low HP state. So you could do half HP on CS, take like 1 or 2 hits depending on who it is, but to then suck the focus onto someone else. Through like Dusknoir, for example, but you can't max out your own special attack from that, so whatever. Strike, 300 BB Sting move, Clang Scales, you lower your defense, 211 base power, but that's split damage. Special attack, you get your special attack up to +4. You have Adrenaline, you have Paralysis Synergy, 20% buff when paralyzed, which is Dragon Breath. You get Static Shock, same thing, Dragon Breath paralyzes, your Sting move gets a buff. You get another High Five, You get Last Dash. Your speed increases when you enter a pinch. So where you would get the move gauge, you would also get speed. On the ropes, you get damage reduction if you want to use her as a tank. But then you get Clanging Scales Unhindered. Ignores damage reducing effects on the target's field of play. So this ignores Light Screen. Although crits do the same thing, so this is useless. I don't think this ignores Critical Guard. It should not ignore Critical Guard. Like, not much stuff can ignore Crit Guard. So yeah, overall, this is a pair where 1 out of 5, you just have your basics. 2 out of 5, you get the Last Dash, you get the Stack Shock. So you get your sync modifier at 2 out of 5. Then 3 out of 5 and beyond, you get the extra High 5. Dragon with Fear's Braum, which is and you just get some extra stuff. What I would consider worth it with this pair is 2 out of 5 for if you want to go EX with her. Otherwise, 1 out of 5 is just fine. Clanging Scales does nice spread damage. 211 is still a pretty good base power, honestly. So yeah, once again, favorite or 2 out of 5 if you have to. And I would personally never use a candy on her. They're just better strike candy options that we're going to get a little bit further into in this list. Now, let's go into something a little more spicy, right? Cynthia. Meet Cynthia. We have Garchomp here. Whenever you see me talk about ground types, you'll always see me bring up this pair, because she was one of the first pairs to ever release, and at the time of those recordings, was still one of the only fairs for ground. So she has Fast Track 2, Surging Sand 5, powers that moves during a Sandstorm. Then she Mega Evolves, where she gets Ground Shift. So Slash becomes a ground type. Now, EX, she has about 500 base attack, which is pretty good. So base move wise, Storm Tantrum becomes Slash, 60 BP versus 52, but crit it's a lot more easily, so you only need 2 crit, which is whatever. This attack power doubles when the previous move fails. So an example for that would be if you're plus 6 speed, plus 3 crit rate. I guess this would fail. Then that would double. Like, there's no point in that. It's very weird. So yeah, Earthquake's base power does not increase. Nothing else really changes here, and they swap places, which is a little annoying. So I'm just gonna go off Mega from here on. So Earthquake, 120 base power, 3 bar spread damage. This is why she's fallen off a little bit, because she doesn't have access to any additional augments, such as Super Effective Up. Super Effective Up would be much better with her for this, but there are obviously other ways to get it. X attack, so plus 4 attack. TM raises speed and crit by 1. Stats raised by 2 instead if in a Sandstorm. So what I do is I X attack. I use my X attacks, but then I use either I've sent max out or crit for her with speed support, or I Sandstorm after I've already used one of these, so I get plus 3 speed and 3 crit rate. But then Sync move, 192 base power, becomes Mega Garchomp until the end of battle. This does not get any modifiers whatsoever. This is why I regret EX and Garchomp, but Cynthia's a favorite of mine, so whatever. EX Garchomp is just so worthless in my opinion. Like, the only way that this would be kind of worth it is if Ground Zone were to exist, you have Weathered Warrior, and you have Super Effective Up on her. That's the only way to artificially inflate this sync move, in my opinion. I don't like it. I might fuck around with it in the future, because I can, but I'm just not a fan of it. Much more worth it to just do a support EX than stronger Earthquake. So Earthquake has a lot of modifiers here. So obviously Surging Sand 5, but then all the stuff you use 3 out of 5, right? So you have Ramming Speed, you have Surging Sand, you can get another Sharp Entry, which would activate twice. You get Sands of Time. I personally have Soothing Sand there for the little bit of sustainability. Then there's a bunch of Earthquake power, so Earthquake can go up to roughly 130 BP. She can get a lot of modifiers, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think Earthquake has the base power for it. So, is this a pair worth getting? If you're struggling with ground still, if you miss Giovanni, if you don't have Zygarde, if you don't have Groudon, they're never fucking rerunning, by the way. Yeah, I'd pick up Garchomp. Is this pair worth 3 out of 5 if you already have her? Yes, just because of ramming speed and surging sand. That's an additional 60%. You will notice a big difference with her Earthquakes if you do that. She is all move damage. She needs those modifiers, especially because Earthquake has lower base power. She needs it. She is one of the most I would consider on this list, purely because ground fucking sucks. So that's the Cynthias. Let's go into... You guys have heard me talk about Gloria a lot on this channel because she's been rerun so many times. So I'm just going to give it as simple as I possibly can. If you guys want to see other videos on Gloria, check out any other banner rerun video I talk about of her. So this one's the easiest one to talk about. She does not need dupes. Are they nice for extra base power? Sure, but she sucks in this meta. Sucks is a little bit of a overstretch, but she doesn't get the multiplier she needs to do consistent damage. She needs zone. 1 out of 5 is fine. Anything else is purely extra. If you like her, by all means. Sync out in a battery. I use her for Via because of also Sync Burst. She has some nice move gauge stuff. She gets 2 in here, and she has 1 in her base kit. She gets move gauge boost. If you're slower, just charge it. So that's alright. She's someone I would consider if you happen to be struggling with steel. You're not comfortable with power reserves on Solgaleo, which Solgaleo does the job just fine for steel content, as I proved on this channel before. But yeah, Gloria I would only consider if she's like the only one you don't have. Like, she struggles with crit rate and attack top off, so it's I would only consider if she's someone you happen to be missing. Now, another steel, I forgot to do this. Metagross. This is the steel type I would consider getting. Now, his shit here sucks. Power Chain, useless. Impervious is fine, because of legendaries and whatnot. Meteor Mash, you can raise your attack. Attack, obviously. Iron Head is fine. Best there is raises defense by 1, applies crit next to the user. If Mega Ball also applies Endure. But to then Sync, you become Mega Metagross till the end of the battle. With 560 base attack, but to then Meteor Mash becomes Bullet Punch, 3 moves, 90 BP. It's nice. It's fine. So what makes Metagross still worth it, in my opinion, is 1 out of 5 you get Haymaker. So that makes him worth an EX immediately. So it's 190 base power. Obviously, with more sync, it gets higher, but yeah, so you're able to wipe everything off the field 1 out of 5, or at least close to it. 2 out of 5, you get Recuperation for some more healing. You get Force Field for special defense as well, which is fine. But then 3 out of 5, you get Unyielding, so a chance to repop Endure. Bullet Punch Eagle Eye, so there's your crit rate. Iron Head Aggravation for flinching. Natural Remedy, Stoic, and Swag Bag for an additional chance to raise your attack. So if this pair struggles with crit rate, you need 3 out of 5 for that. Bullet Punch Eagle Eye, in my opinion, is what makes 3 out of 5 worth it alone, and the additional sync tiles for your Haymaker nuke. So, like, literally just that shot down the middle, and you're fine. So yeah, Bullet Punch Eagle Eye justifies 3 out of 5 by itself, honestly, and is worth the candies. Once again, if you're not comfortable with using Solgaleo, or if you need Fighting Week that week, Solgaleo can do Fighting, then you got Metagross do Steel. 1 out of 5 is all you need. All because with the nuke, all you do is just pop this. So it's a guaranteed crit on all 3. And that should kill him. Should. But then just a few on heads after, and you should be fine. But crit sports is nice. Attack top off is nice. This is a pair that is very good 1 out of 5. And we underestimated day 1. Dead ass we did. So if you want to pick up Metagross for your first copy or for your third, or if you just want to save a candy if you have nothing else, I would recommend Metagross as another top contender. So for top contenders, we have Garchomp, and Metagross. 2 of them being older fairs, which is actually very nice in my opinion. Now, we have 2 of the fun ones. We have N and Zekrom. Where are you? I'm blind. Okay. N and Zekrom. I've talked about you a few times as well because you have also been on the channel a few times because of reruns. So just to put this simply, entry freebie, nice, sync freebie, he gets free moves, entry and sync for Bolt Strike, which is pretty high base power. Piercing blows, ignores passives that would reduce the damage of these attacks, and a critical hit ignores enduring. So this does not protect against screens or critical guard, as usual. Bolt Strike, 216 base power, X attack, Outrage. You don't touch this. Tempted to try it one day, but you shouldn't. Ideals will prevail. Raises speed by 2 stat ranks. Raises accuracy for Bolt Strike. Lowers defense by 1 when you don't have a sync buff. Super effective next is applied to the user. So if you don't want to 3 out of 5 him, if you don't want to EX him, he doesn't get any modifiers for Bolt Strike. All you need is a terrain. You can literally have a support EX, have your super effective up, then smack him with a +2 sync Bolt Strike right down the middle. That's an idea. 3 out of 5, you get access to a lot of sync tiles and Static Shock for your sync. The sync can wipe people off the field, so that makes this worth it alone. Like, with pretty decent base power, like 300 plus. I'm just doing this off the tip of my head right now. Like, that's pretty good. 450 base power with a 30% modifier and terrain, so that's 80. And you just hit everyone on the field. Zekrom is someone who I would say get 1 if you want to have fun with it. But if you really want him to be at his optimal potential, obviously 3 out of 5 for that nuke, because it hits very hard. I think I did around with him on the channel. But yeah, his partners are very, very strict though. You should have Luxray. You should have either Surge or You should either have Surge and Raichu or Hilbert and Samurott. My brain wanted to say Swampert for some reason. But yeah, Outrage gets Confusion Boon, Paralysis Energy, and you can give him Dragon Zone as well. So that would hit pretty hard. But the problem is you leave yourself confused. You need Clear-Headed for the Confusion Boon. You need Clear-Headed, so you... No, not Clear-Headed. You need Lesson Confusion, so you would have to drop CS2. Now, we all know how important CS2 is with most of these pairs. It's a free 20% because crit rate is mandatory on any striking pair. Like, there are no meat sticks in this game. It's just crits. That's all this game is offensively. So anyone who doesn't have CS2 is automatically down a notch. So I'm not using for Dragon DPS, like, at all. We have people like Palkia. We have Zinnia and Rayquaza if you wanted to go that route. We have people who can do it. Just worry about him for pure electric. 1 out of 5 is worth it, and additional copies for 3 out of 5 is very worth it. Now, I'm going to say this right now. Last one. Bug is in arguably the tightest spot, because for Bug, we don't have much. Guzma barely cuts it. Bugsy, situational. Escavalier was the last one we got, and we have Zone. Lucamine can do it. Berg, I don't even want to touch, deadass. Escavalier, I recommended Zone over him, which is still super worth it. But Alder, just like Dragonite, is a Hyper Beam spammer, but except he can max out his own crit rate, and he can max out his own special attack, therefore he's better. Bug Shift, obviously so he can super effectively. Rejuvenate, and Adrenaline. So with this, you would want to sync with him, but you don't have to. You really don't have to. You can easily just pop a support EX and just Hyper Beam spam. You don't need Overpower, you don't need Devastation, because special attack debuffs are fine, but they're harder to achieve, and you're locking a team party slot to that. Now, something I want to try in the future, and you guys might see this soon, power reserves. You guys know I love my power reserves comps. They're very, very fun for me. I would love to try power reserves with Volcarona. 20% with zone with Hyper Beam. I would love to try that. So, is this a pair I would recommend getting? Absolutely. This is the one people are recommending people pick up just because of how Bug is right now. There are some options, but they don't cut it as well. Oh, but I did Bug with Guzma this week. I did it with Bugsy. That's fine. Good for you. Not everyone knows how to work that, though. And you need zone for those. This, you don't need zone. He can carry his own DPS just fine. You don't need zone for Volcarona. It just makes it very, very easy and very funny. So, if there was a pair that I would recommend you guys pick up for 1 out of 5, it's Volcarona. I cannot recommend 3 out of 5 in good conscience, just because I know not everyone likes power reserves, and I know overpower and devastation are much harder to achieve reliably, especially if you want zone with them. It really locks you, unfortunately. Now, he would be a good partner with N and Reshiram, because you can have the special attack drops, you can have special defense drops, and you have Unova Flag Bearer. In fact, that I might try. I might do that, actually. Just some different comps with Alder for a video. But yeah, Alder 1 out of 5, I would recommend. For dupes, I can't recommend good conscience. So, if you don't have Alder, pick up Alder. If you need dupes, Cynthia, Garchomp, and Zekrom are who I would recommend. Otherwise, just pick your favorite. If you have all of them 3 out of 5, I would pick up someone for the increased base power, whether it be for sync or normal moves. So, and Zekrom's a good choice. Alder's a good choice for post 3 out of 5. And Cynthia, in my opinion. All because she wants that earthquake base power. So yeah, hopefully you guys found this helpful. And if you did already choose, let me know who you chose and who you plan on using with them and whatnot, because I'm nosy. I'm curious. And I'll see you all in the next video.